Welcome to our tutorial on mission number 8, Angular Perspective. In this mission, we'll be using the camera to take pictures of your scene from different angles. Focusing on different angles gives us a different perspective and a different context of how we look at your scene. We'll be using cameras a lot in the next learning quest, and so this is a good introduction of how to use the camera to take pictures of your scene. The mission objective is for you to manipulate the positions and features of a camera to take rendered snapshots of your forest. So as a reminder, make sure that you have completed build a forest, that you have placed a backdrop around it, and you have some lighting features around it as well. Let's get to it. I have a scene from one classmate, Brandon, who's developed this scene here, and I'll be using this scene as a way of taking pictures of different camera angles. If we look at this, Brandon already has cameras established in different areas, and that's fine. But I'm gonna, just in case you don't have a camera hanging around in your scene, let me just delete these 3 cameras here. You would have to make a camera object, and to make a camera object, you go to the Add menu, go to Camera, and you'll have a camera established right there. Like with any object, you can translate the camera in any fashion that you like. But now the question is, what do we know about the camera's position, and how do we know what the camera is looking at? Okay, to find that one out, we need to split up the screen. And so I'm going to split up the screen so we have 2 different views. One screen for us manipulating the camera, and the other one where we can actually see where the camera is looking at. So if I go to View, go down to Cameras, and Active Camera, then this shows us what the camera is looking at. This part. Realize if I move the camera on the user perspective area, then the camera's perspective also adjusts itself as well. Okay. But now the goal is to make sure that I have a good view to take a picture of. And so if I want to do that, I want to make sure I manipulate the camera a bit. Alright, and it's a little hard to do it from this angle, but let's just say this is where I want my camera to be. Right there. And this part will take time. It'll take a little practice to learn how to position your camera like with any object. Let's say that's the picture I want, and I'm done. I am going to now, the next step is I'm going to now render it. And I'm going to the Render menu and press Render Image. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a final draft image of the picture that you took. When I'm done, I'm going to press Image and Save As, and I'm going to save that one into a folder on my desktop, and I'm going to call that folder Mission 8 Angular Perspective. Alright, you can change the file format. It could be a PNG or JPEG. I prefer one of these two. It's not black and white. And make sure you name it. And I'm going to name this Camera Angle 01. I'm gonna save the image. And I'm going to close this window again. And I'm going to find a different camera angle that I want to take another picture as. Another way to manipulate the camera is also through the camera's perspective, but we have to change some settings here. So let me join this to that so that I'm only focusing on this. There is a caret symbol pointing to the left that I'm going to pull out. Alright, and there you should see the word transform there, but I want to be focusing on the view. Alright, and I want to make sure I want to lock the camera to the view. And what this does is, if I don't have that closed, checked off, and I try to move, my camera's gone already. And I would have to go back to view, camera, and active camera. Okay, we want to make sure that this rectangle is there so that we see what the camera is looking at. But if you want to lock the camera to the view, check mark, lock camera to view. Okay, and what I could do is now that box is still there, regardless if I move the scene around. So if I want to render this view here from the top, I would take a picture of that. Okay, so let me find another angle to focus on. I can also zoom in using my scroll button. Scroll out. I can orbit around the scene. I can press shift and the middle button and then translate the camera up, down, left, and right. It's something for you all to test out. Let's say that's the camera angle I want to use from the bottom up. I'm using a top-down camera angle right there. I'm going to press render image. Alright, and there is my next view. And I'm going to do the same thing. Image, save as, and I'm going to call this camera angle 02. You're going to have a total of 6 different camera angles. So you'll have camera angle 03, 04, 05, and 06. So let me do that really fast right here. Let's say I want that. Alright, I'm just going to give 3 camera angles, but for you, you're going to make 6 different camera angles. When you are done with all 6 camera angles and you've taken a rendered picture of it, let's go back to teamoringo.org. There is a file or a Google Docs or a presentation that I want you to make a copy of. So I'm going to make a copy of that. And make sure you save it into your Steam Legends folder. And low poly world, and call this mission number 8. Angular perspective. Angular perspective. Okay. And then I'm going to press check mark to save the folder. And I'm going to press select to save the file into that folder. Press OK. And what you're going to do here is we're going to go to the second slide. In the next slide, you're going to use your forest scene with backdrop and the camera to take 6 rendered pictures from different angles. You'll create collage of those angles in the next slide. And so all you're going to do is you're going to press insert image, and you're going to upload an image from your computer, and those are the same images that you have placed in to that you took a picture of. So I got one angle there. Ooh, I thought I had the other angles as well. Oh, there's the other angle. Here's the other angle as well. And you know, it should have a total of 6 different images of the same scene from different angles. By doing this, you're showing evidence that you are able to use a camera and manipulate the position and angle of the camera and render the image as well.